Hey, what's up, everybody? K1GMM Steve in Vermont. I got wild hair, as you can see. Back to the green screen. Need to mix things up, make it a little bit more interesting. I'm going to let things settle here, and we will get on with business. Mikey, what's up, dude? Hope everybody's doing well. Freezing here this morning. Actually started the pellet stove in the house. Can you believe it? Crazy, man. So I'm going to wait for anybody in here. Just do a quick check-in and let me know there's enough people in the chat, and a few of you anyways. And we will do to kick things off, we will do our lyrical study, right? I'm going to present some lyrics, and you guys give me the name of the song and the artist. How's that? This is a pretty easy one, I think. I think people will get this pretty easy. 90. Yeah, I heard Mike, geez, I heard Glenn was telling me it was like, he's in Alabama, it was like 99, 97, 99 degrees ambient air temperature in Alabama. What was it, yesterday? Yeah, ugly. Gary. What's up, Gary? Jeez, dude. Hope you're out on those machines. Eddie, good to see you. Poconos, yeah, 46, yeah. Can you believe it? What a freak show. How cold was it up in Northeast Kingdom there, Gary? Just out of curiosity. Gary's up on the Canadian border up in northern Vermont. I bet it was down pushing 40 degrees. It was cold enough that with a polar fleece on, my fingers were actually cold. And I was actually cold. Crazy, huh? So a lot of flooding here down the southern part of the state. My mother called yesterday. I'm going to just blab for a minute and let things marinate in the chat. Oh, you're in New York? Yeah, my mom, she lives down in the Arlington area, southwestern Vermont, about 25 miles south of me. And she called yesterday. She said, we have flooding. The Battenkill River was flooding. So very, very unusual. A couple nights ago, we had incredible amounts of rain and tremendous thunderstorms lasted. I fell asleep to them, and they had already been going for about 3 hours. Oh, geez, Gary, you're all the way down Long Island. Wow. Gary's in the deep south. Not really. My mug is freaking out. Look at that. So anyways, I'm going to share an epic fail. It's a partial success, but mostly a fail because it failed to achieve my goal. And I have a couple things I'm going to show you. Before we get to that, I'm going to go ahead and post lyrics in the chat. You guys give me the name of the song and the artist, and I will put the crown on your head. How's that? Andy, what's up, dude? Andy, here we go. See how snappy you guys are today. This is a pretty easy one, I think. It's one of my all-time favorite songs. Hint, he is a phenomenal guitar player. Very unusual. Love his guitar style. And not particularly old. I wouldn't say he's old school. In the past 15 years, I would call it current. So here we go. Name of the song and the artist. Going into the chat right now. Have at it. See how long it takes you guys to pull this one out. I think it's going to be pretty quick. Hey, Gardner, man, what's up, dude? I don't see anything yet. You guys are slipping. Slipping away. No, slip. Nobody gets it. You got to get that one. Come on, you guys. Anyways, what I've been working on in the past week. Nope, not even close, Gary. Nope. Um, Caption. So, what I've been working on the past week, I've been struggling because I want 15, 10, and 6 meters. Oh, I'll repost the question again. Here you go, Jason. Reposting. I need the artist and the song title in the artist. And it has to be both. Here you go. Jason, you're kind of a music guy, so you'll probably get this pretty quick. I don't know if it's an obscure song, but it's one of my all-time favorite songs. Just masterful lyrically. And it was particularly moving to me because I lost my dad about 7 years ago. And I remember him standing in the garage. He was with me when I was listening to this song. I had it going on the stereo in the Jeep, and I set the Jeep on fire with a welder. I was welding plate in on the old Wrangler. And I actually set the wheel well on fire, and I had to grab a fire extinguisher before we set the garage on fire and blew the Jeep up. And I'll never forget that day. So I just heard this song the other day in my MP3 player. It's like, oh yeah, I remember that tune. So anyways, the past week I've been working on getting a tri-band Delta running. Okay, you're close, Mike. You're close. And no cheating, you guys. You're close, Mike. You got the name. You got the name. Okay, you're getting there, Mike. Keep going. Keep going, buddy. You only got one word left. Okay, here's another hint. I heard that he dated, he was dating, what's that blonde girl there? The dingbat from, oh gosh, I can't remember the name of the movie. Boy, you're close, Mike. What's the name of that movie? It's like a Walmart spoof, a superstore. He was dating that blonde girl, Jessica Simpson. He was dating Jessica Simpson. What style, Jason? It's he part of the album is unplugged style, and the other part has full ensemble drum, guitar, and bass. I would say I don't know how to classify it. It's kind of similar to Jason Mraz, but not as refined. There you go, Mike. You got it. John Mayer. You got it, buddy. Stop This Train by John Mayer. If you guys haven't heard that song, check that out. Good tune. Anyways, you got it. Boy, that's some serious deep digging, isn't it, Mike? So I've been working on a tri-band Delta. And I wanted something for 15, 10, and 6, but I wanted it all on built into a single support. So what I'll do is I'll pull up a picture, and I'll show you exactly what it looks like before we dive in deep. And this was a fail. This was a fail. It was very promising when I started the process, but yeah. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I gave you tons of clues, Jason. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I wanted something that was freestanding, so I took 2 Shakespeare Wonder Poles, set them up on a hub, and strung up 3 deltas. 15 meters is across the top. Oh, you really can't see it, can you? Oops. Okay, there we go. So we got, and hopefully it doesn't start auto switching on me. So 15 meters goes across the top. These are all deltas, apex down. You got 10 meters here, and you got 6 meters here. And what happens is they all come into a feed point I constructed, a piece of cutting board, and each element has its own matching stub, 75 ohm coax. And that comes into a SO239 and fed with a common feed line. And I thought, well, if you can get a fan dipole to work, why couldn't you get this to work? So what I tried to do is I tried to space all the elements out, like, let's say 3 inches, right? And needless to say, I'm going to show you what happened. I have about 20 to 30 hours into this, and I gave up. I gave up. It's above my pay grade. 6 meters is good. 10 meters is great. 15 is completely out of whack, man. Total abomination. I figured, what a great way to get 3 bands in a compact area, all full wave loops on one structure, right? Kind of call it a fan delta, I guess you'd call it. I don't know what you call it. That's the only thing I can think of. Busted. Anyways, let's jump over to, what have I got? I think it's this one. Yep, so this is the one I want to show you. So this basically is what it looks like. And the reason why I'm putting this out is maybe somebody can point me in a direction of where I went wrong. I don't know if you guys have ever tried something like this before. I'll give you my theory on what I think is happening. I was talking to Dave, M6 ENS this morning. I've talked to Harry Paul, M7 WAB in Scotland. Really good with antenna stuff. And he suggested some things to me. I could not get this to work. And the catch to this is that if you change, because all of these elements, so if you see here, the 6 meter element has a matching stub, 75 ohm coax. Down here, you'll see in red, I used, just like, I set them up all as monobanders. The Vulcan Mind Meld. There you go, dude. So creative, Gary. We got a quarter wavelength, 75 ohm, quarter wavelength, 75 ohm, quarter wavelength, 75 ohm, to the individual feed points of each antenna. That comes into a common area where the 75 ohm, or not 75 ohm, the 50 ohm feed line to the shack come in. Okay. I had it set up as shields separate, and I also had it set up as shields common, which shields are common anyways. So I moved the plate so that all of the shield sides, so the right side of these elements are all shield. The left side is center pin. Okay. Now, shields are all common going up the left side. And so the quarter wave sections are all 75 ohm times 0.66 VF. That's the velocity factor of the particular coax I was using. Got it off the manufacturer's website. And so I know the stubs are correct and the lengths are correct. All right. So that's basically a picture. That's a more enhanced picture of what's going on. This is not to scale, and these are not centered in the middle of each other. They all come off that plate at the bottom, that common area where all of the stubs come in. And the center pins are all directed off to this side, and this side, right? So let me show you what happens with the VNA. So we'll go to 6 meters first. So let's look at the VNA analysis. This is 6 meters. This was swept from 50 to 54 megahertz. All right. Now I did a lot of tweaking. The problem with this antenna is that the way it's designed. No, I did not, Mike. I did not. Hey, Amor from the Philippines. Geez, good to see you. See, this is why I post this stuff. These are ideas. I'm pretty much done with this project. I'm not going to move forward anymore with it because I got too many hours into it. But I figured I'd throw this out there. It is an intriguing design. If you can get it to work, it would be fantastic. So, geez, if you look at this on 6 meters, it's not bad. If you look at the return loss here, 5125 is probably right in here somewhere. So we're looking at minus, where's marker 1? Return loss is about minus 12 dB. Not horrific, not great. I wouldn't even call it good, but it's okay. And you can work that. Now keep in mind the VNAs are hypersensitive compared to what the HF rigs will see. So I did put this on the HF rig and it showed a 1-to-1 SWR on the Sun and the 7300. So you can work it with no tuner required. It's probably closer to a 1.1, 1.2 to 1. The way the rig is seeing it, okay? Not bad. I got that working. It actually heard really well. I was heard out in, I worked a little zombie apocalypse yesterday for about 5 minutes and checked PSK Reporter, and I was heard out in Illinois on about 10 watts. So it does work on 6. So that's cool. So let's jump over to 10 meters. 10 meters is really good. 10 meters is great. SWR here at marker 2. So 28. So 28.4 is right around here, which is probably about 1.5 to 1, somewhere in there. And at the sideband calling frequency, 28.4 here. Best return loss is at 28.8 at minus 16 dB, which is good. Not bad. You know, it's the best I can get it. Now, here's the catch. Every time I move one element and I try to adjust it, it moves the other ones as well. Yeah, this is the best I could get it. So let's go over to 15 meters. This is 15 meters. This is an abomination. However, excuse me, it loads on the tuner very, very well. Loads up perfect across the entire 20-meter band, or not 20-meter, 15-meter band. But it should because it's high. Now, I did some tweaking to this, and I was able to move this down. But the problem is the curve. I should have kept it. The curve, I was able to move it closer to center at the bottom, but the SWR was actually higher than this point. This point on marker 3. It was like 4 to 1 on each end. And it threw all the other elements, all of the 10 and 6 meter completely out of whack. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Now just for shiznicks and figgles, I took a 4 to 1 and I took the matching stuff. Well, I started with a 4 to 1. I said, well, I wonder where it's going to drop, you know, where everything's going to land. It wasn't too bad with a 4 to 1. 6 meters was actually workable with no direct match. Just sticking an air-wound 4 to 1 on there, it actually was okay. So you could do that as well. 6 meters is the key because not a lot of people, like on these SDRs, unless you have an auto tuner, you can't pull it in. And unless your manual tuner does 6 meters, you're busted. So you really need I need a resonant antenna if I'm going to use anything but the 7300. Now the 7300 does tune pretty much anything in as far as 6 meters if it's within a ballpark, right? So, see, there was something else I was going to mention. This was kind of off the cuff this morning. Is that this one? Yeah, so this is the picture of what it looked like. These are fiberglass poles. I've thought about That's what I was going to tell you. So you're probably thinking, now, why the heck would you even try something like that, or why would you do it? Well, for those of you who know me, I'm a monobander junkie. I like monobanders. Now, I thought, well, why can't I get, and I didn't want a beam. I did not want a beam. And I wanted something that was easy to construct. And this was very easy to put together. Very easy. You just do your math, cut your full wave loops for the the spectrum you want to work, whatever band, and feed it. Now, could you get this to work with just a simple 4-to-1? Sure, it did work, and it actually worked pretty good. Return loss figures weren't quite as good, but it did work. I didn't want to do a beam. I wanted something I could just throw up and I didn't have to worry about turning. Now, I've been looking at fan dipoles, and I'm like, I don't know about a fan dipole. So I decided to try this first. Here's a big one, right? So if you go back to, this is pretty funny, actually. This shows you how truly bad 15 meters is, right? You look at this plot, and a 3-to-1 to a 2.43 to 1, let's say 2.43 to 3 to 1 across the entire band, that's not really horrific, Now, here's the catch. I went from this antenna, and I started stepping up through. I went to the 80 meter monoband delta. Now, keep in mind that is not a multibander. It's directly matched for 80 meters, the DX window of 80 meters. And that antenna went to position 2, which is the 80 meter delta. And I actually went from an S5 on this antenna, the 15 meter delta matched, which isn't really matched because if you look at that, that ain't right. But it's close. It's close enough where you think, well, you probably should hear something on it, right? So it was about an S5, and the minute it jumped to the 80 meter delta, the signal went to S6. And it's not even matched for 15 meters. That tells you how bad it is. So I said, okay, let's check the other antennas. So I went past neutral, went to the 40 meter array, S6 on the 40 meter array on 15 meters. That's a monobander. Went to the 20 meter array. That's a monobander, S6. This thing is deafer than a freaking post. I have no idea how it transmits, but it does not hear. You may think to yourself, well, the difference between S5 and S6 isn't that much. Well, yeah, it is. If you think about it, between a resonant full wave loop and a completely out of resonant antenna that's cut for a wavelength that's so far out. Now, yeah, you're probably thinking, well, are they harmonically related? Well, maybe. I don't know, because this thing is so screwed up. I have no idea what is really going on. Without a modeling program, no clue. So I figured I'd throw this out there, let you guys chew on it a little bit. And of course, I'll leave the comments enabled in the video, and you guys can see if you can make sense out of it. All right. I don't know if any of you guys have access to MMANA, but maybe stick it into a piece of modeling software and see how to make something like this work. I can tell you there is a huge amount of interaction. Let me end it with this. I'll end it with this. So, got a lot of windows open here. So, just the sheer nature of that design, I have played with before, trying to stuff a 70 centimeters, I think it was a 7-element, 70 centimeter quad inside of a 3-element 2-meter quad. I could not get it to work, fired out the back. The only thing I could figure is that it was something to do with the interaction of the 2-meter quad elements outside of those 70 centimeter elements. I had it set up so it was fed on 2 meters. It was fed from the bottom. So, and on 70 centimeters, it was fed from the side. So they're cross polarized. I figured maybe that would help. And I was going to use it for satellite work. Could not get it to work. It actually fired out the back. And I know for a fact, I built a mess of quads in my lifetime. I know it was bang on. And I could not get that thing to work. I take it out of the center, take the elements off the 2 meter quad, boom, snap right into shape, bang on, bang on. So it's like it was being Faraday caged. Now I'm wondering if having those loops inside of each other, I know for a fact that that's a big issue. And I'm actually surprised that I got it to work as good as that, to be honest with you. Even though in my mind it doesn't work because those are directly matched. If I take those out and hang them separately with those matching stubs, they will be spot on. I built a bazillion of those as well. Just regular loops matched with a quarter wavelength times VF into a piece of 50 ohm every single time, no tuning required. Bang, boom, done. So it's not rocket science. It's easy to do. But you got two variables in play from what I'm thinking. You've got proximity of elements to each other, elements inside of other elements, and then you have, whoa, my camera's falling apart there. And then you have the fact that I have all of the matching stubs coming into a common feed line, exactly like you'd have on a fan dipole, but you'd have the elements coming in. Because there's no matching on a fan dipole. It's just, direct in to the 50 ohm. So you guys have at it, man. Figure it out. If you can figure it out, let me know. Anyways, that's it for me. Looks like the chat's gone quiet. I'm out of here. Have a great day, everybody. I'm going to be running the rig later, hopefully, later this afternoon, and working some 20 meters most likely. We'll cross our fingers. Looks like the band is pretty good right now. And it looks like the Russian radar. Oh yeah, that's coming out of Europe. Right there around 275. I've been watching that all morning. They're up in the upper part of 20 meters, crushing it in here. So who knows? Maybe that'll disappear later on. John Boy, what's up, dog? All right, gang, that's it from me. Have a great day. We'll see y'all later. This is K1GM and Steve in Vermont.